Hey guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge and welcome to Bunches of Lunches Subscriber Edition. In today's video, I'm making 4 fun and easy lunches, and this time we've got a little bit of everything. From princesses to reptiles, and from strange combinations to a lunch that's completely bananas. These lunches are going to be interesting. One of these lunches was so wild, it almost traumatized me and I'll probably never make it again. Now you're gonna see why in just a bit. But friends, if you have a fun lunch idea you'd like to see me make, first, make sure you're subscribed. Then you can send in your idea using the link in the description box below. I always love seeing all your messages and your fun lunch ideas. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Now don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and comment the word bananas down below to get a shout out in next week's video. Now with all that being said, it's time to let the lunches begin. This first lunch idea was sent in by Stevie from Alabama, and she requested an all Disney princess themed lunch. Now this one is not only going to be super cute, but it's also going to come together super quickly because none of the things that Stevie requested actually require any cooking at all. That is so awesome, especially in the summer heat. Now normally I start with the main course for the lunch first, but this time I'm actually going to make the sweet treat first instead. Now if you're a fan of Beauty and the Beast like I am, you'll already know all about the famous gray stuff from the movie. Now at the Disney parks, you can actually buy the gray stuff in like cupcakes and other desserts. And I have a full copycat recipe for the Disneyland version. Definitely check out that video if you want to make it the more authentic way. But today is all about being quick and easy, so I'm gonna make my cheater version of the gray stuff instead. This is gonna taste almost exactly like the real stuff, but it's way easier to make. All you're going to need is 1 box of instant cookies and cream pudding mix. To this, you're going to add 2 cups of milk. Now this does have some crushed up cookies in it, but not enough for me. So at this point, I'm going to add about 8 to 10 extra Oreos that are all crushed up. I'm gonna add all those crushed up cookies in here and then fold them in. Check this out, you guys. This is really looking very gray, just like it should. But now I'm gonna go ahead and pop it into the fridge to chill while I finish up the rest of this princess lunch. For Stevie's main course, she asked for a Cinderella themed sandwich. Instead of trying to make Cinderella's face or a glass slipper, I decided to use a cookie cutter to make a sandwich that looks just like Cinderella's carriage. You know, the one that her fairy godmother makes out of a pumpkin in the movie. And speaking of pumpkin, the filling for this sandwich is going to be cream cheese with this delicious maple pumpkin butter. This sandwich is definitely not your basic PB&J. Now I'm going to finish this off with my sandwich stamp and add it into the lunchbox. Now moving on to the fruit and veggies. To represent Moana, who loves the ocean, I'm going to add plenty of these watermelon balls. They kind of look like little ocean bubbles. And then for Princess Tiana, I'm going to turn some cucumber slices into lily pads. These are so simple and so cute. And just to make sure that you can tell they are lily pads, I'm going to add a couple of these adorable frog food picks. Next, for a salty snack on the side, I found the perfect princess-themed goldfish crackers. These can be kind of hard to find. Not all of the stores have them near me, but not only are these crunchy and cheesy, but the shapes are so cute too. There's a Cinderella shape in there, a Moana shape, and a Jasmine as well. Now to represent Snow White, I was going to add a basic apple, but we already have fruit in here. So instead, I'm just going to use some white cheese, and I went ahead and cut the cheese into heart shapes. And now back to our sweet treat. Our gray stuff pudding is perfectly chilled, so now all I have to do is add a couple of scoops to our lunchbox, and to brighten it up a bit, I will add a few extra sprinkles on top. Now moving on to Ariel. For her, I definitely wanted to find something mermaid themed. So I was able to find these mythical creature cookies, and I'm just gonna pick out the mermaid shapes. And yes, they only kind of look like mermaids, but they're close enough. And now for some drinks. First, I definitely want to add a drinkable yogurt. These ones are so cute and they come with lots of different princesses on the outside. But of course, since I don't really have anything Princess Jasmine yet, I'm gonna go ahead and pick her for the yogurt. And then of course, I could not forget Princess Rapunzel. She is my favorite princess. So for her, I'm gonna make a refreshing purple drink with coconut and grape. This is kind of giving off dirty soda vibes, but way better. Thanks to Stevie's royal decree, this princess lunch was meant to be. Let me know in the comments down below who is your favorite Disney princess. Alright friends, this next lunch idea comes from Braxton in Arizona, and he asked for a theme that I haven't done in a long time. Strange combinations that are actually tasty. Now I've made some pretty weird combos before, like spaghetti tacos and even Cheetos dunked in milk. Surprisingly, they were not too bad. But you guys, when I saw the sweet treat that Braxton suggested for this lunch, I thought it could either turn out completely gross or totally awesome. For his sweet treat, Braxton asked for flaming hot Cheetos crispy treats. Now, since these are going to take a few minutes to set up, I'm going to start with them first. Now, I'm not usually a big fan of flaming hot Cheetos, but I do love a good Rice Krispie treat, so I'm willing to give these a shot. Now, this is a family-sized bag, and I'm going to go ahead and crush them up a little bit. I want to make sure that they're easy to mix in. And then to a large skillet, I'm going to start by melting 4 tablespoons of butter. Next, I'm adding a 10-ounce bag of mini marshmallows. And once that's nice and melty, it's time for the crazy part. Yes, I'm dumping in the entire bag of crushed Cheetos. And as you can see, they're not completely crushed, they're just a little bit smaller than they would normally be. My son Griffin just came in and asked what was stinking so bad, and you guys, it's these treats. I'd say it's kind of like a rancid, stinky sock smell. It is so weird. You guys, let me know in the comments down below if you would ever try these yourself. These are so bright and vibrant. So now that these are all mixed up, I'm just going to dump them into my pan. I'll go ahead and flatten them out. And now I'm gonna set these aside to firm up, but I'm a little bit worried about trying them, I'm not gonna lie. So now moving on to Braxton's main course, he asked for something called hot dog sushi. But don't worry you guys, there's no raw fish involved. According to Braxton, for this, you're gonna start by spreading ketchup and mustard all over a tortilla. Then you're gonna add a layer of cheese. And I decided to go with some freshly grated sharp cheddar. Now I'm gonna pop this into a skillet with a little bit of melted butter. And once the cheese gets all melty, it's time to add your pre-warmed hot dog. And you guys, at this point, you're supposed to carefully roll it up. And trust me, you have to be careful with this because on my second attempt at this, I accidentally touched the side of the pan and burned my finger. If I ever make this again, I will definitely take it out of the pan before I roll it up. But now what you're supposed to do is once it's rolled up, you just leave it in the pan for a few more minutes until all of the sides get nice and crispy. Then all you have to do is slice it up like you would a sushi roll. But you guys, I'm not gonna stop right there. To make this look even more like sushi, I'm just gonna take a little bit of mustard and ketchup, and I'm gonna drizzle it all over the top, just like you would with some spicy mayo. And then instead of furikake or seaweed, I'm gonna sprinkle on a little bit of everything but the bagel seasoning. Now you guys, I actually make something very similar to this at my house, but we don't put ketchup, we don't put mustard. It's just a tortilla, cheese, and hot dog. I don't slice it up, and we call it a special. So now moving on to the fruit. Braxton asked for apple slices, but for this combo, he would like me to sprinkle the apple slices with salt. And you guys, I've heard of adding salt to watermelon, but never apples before, so this will be a first. And then for the veggie, he did pick out carrots. I'm going to go ahead and cut those with my crinkle cutter. And then to go along with these, instead of adding ranch, he likes to dip these in peanut butter, which I actually think sounds really good, but then I just love peanut butter on everything. Next, for a snack on the side, Braxton requested cottage cheese, but with a twist. He says to serve the cottage cheese with potato chips, specifically salt and vinegar chips, and you're supposed to scoop up the cottage cheese with the chips. That's definitely an interesting combination. And now guys, back to those crispy treats. These look super neon. And yes, they do still smell like stinky socks. I have to say these are a little bit tricky to cut, but they're not exactly hard either. I was able to pull them apart so they weren't super hard or anything. And after giving them a taste, I've decided they're not the worst thing ever. But would I make them again? Probably not. And now lastly, Braxton didn't actually request a drink, so I decided to grab these Charcoal-Berry Thin juice pouches. These just seem like another odd combination that totally matched our theme. And there you have it, guys. Here are some new odd combinations for you to try at home. Alright friends, this next lunch idea comes from Lydia, who's from Florida, and this lunch is going to include a bunch of Lydia's favorite things, including reptiles. And how cool is this? I heard that Lydia's mom is also a big fan of reptiles and used to work with reptiles at Animal Kingdom here in Florida. That is so awesome. Lydia told me that she loves both bearded dragons and snakes, so I'm going to include both of those in this lunch. But first, let's get started with the sweet treat. I'm gonna make an edible terrarium. For this, I'm going to use some Oreos, and really any chocolate cookie would do, but I'm gonna go with the classic flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and crush up about 25 of them. And then to these crumbs, I'm going to mix in about 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And this is going to help our dirt clump together. Now I'm going to set this aside so I can make our mud layer. For the mud, I'm going to use 1 cup of smooth peanut butter. And to that, I'm also going to add in 1 block of room temperature cream cheese. I'm going to mix this together until it's nice and creamy. And then I'll add about 1 cup of powdered sugar. Finally, I'll fold in 1 tub of Cool Whip. Basically, we've just made a rich peanut butter cheesecake mousse. It is so decadent. Now all I need to do is fill these terrariums with layers of the cookie dirt and the mousse mud. Then I'm going to top each one with some gummy snakes and just a few green sprinkles for a grassy look. Now, would these habitats actually keep the snakes in? No, definitely not, but that's perfectly fine. We're all about how they look and how they taste. Now moving on to the main course. One of Lydia's favorite things is a good PB&J, and I'm gonna make hers extra special by cutting it out with a bearded dragon cookie cutter. Look at this cute little face. I love it. Now for the fruit, I know that Lydia loves watermelon, so I'll go ahead and cut these into star shapes. And I'm going to add a little theater ticket decoration since I know she is a fan of the theater. Then next to that, I'm also going to add in some pineapple, which is another one of her favorites. For the veggies, I'm keeping things simple here. I'm just going to add some baby carrots, and I'm going to tuck them right under the bearded dragon sandwich, so it kind of looks like he's climbing on top of them. Next up, I have a couple of snacks that I want to add on the side. First, I'm going to add some of Lydia's favorite cheese, Ritz Bits. Then, because she also loves pizza, I'm going to add just a few of these pizza flavored Pringles. And then you guys, to get even more snakes into this lunch, I'm gonna make a mini snake skewer. I'm just gonna add a couple of grapes onto my skewer, a little strawberry for the head, and then to make it extra cute, some eye picks. This is so easy and so fun. Finally, I can go ahead and place our little dirt cup terrarium, and I'll finish up this lunch with a drink I know Lydia loves, and that is boba. Well, technically, this is a purple taro flavored drink with boba in it. Now, I'm gonna give a big thanks to Lydia and her mom for sending in such a creative and fun lunch. And honestly, I had to learn quite a lot about bearded dragons and lizards to make it. Okay guys, now I am super excited about this next lunch because for this one, we're going bananas. This lunch idea was sent in by Esme from Canada, and she requested an all monkey themed lunch with lots of banana foods. Now starting with the main course first, Esme requested a monkey-shaped sandwich, but instead of bananas for the filling, she asked for cream cheese and pastrami, and then I'm also gonna throw in some Swiss cheese. And then of course, the top piece of bread is gonna get a cute little monkey stamp. Now, if you want to know more about all of these cute sandwich stamps, I will go ahead and link them down below for you guys. Next, for her fruit, of course, we have to go with a banana, and I'm gonna take a little toothpick and I'm just gonna scratch her name in the banana. I'm not going all the way through the peel. I'm just scratching the top, and then as it sits, the letters will darken and make the banana look extra special. Next, for her veggie, Esme requested a spinach salad. So I'm gonna stick as much salad in here as I can, and to make this extra cute and stick with our monkey theme, I'm gonna go ahead and cut some cheese into letters to spell out monkey, and then I'm gonna place that on top of the salad with some ranch on the side, of course. Now to go along with this, Esme also requested some banana yogurt, but I'm gonna actually make this into a banana yogurt parfait. So on the bottom, I'm adding some granola, then the banana yogurt, then more granola on top with some really cute yellow sprinkles. Next, for a crunchy version of bananas, I'm going to throw in some of these banana chips. These are so good and they're kind of addicting. Now, keeping with the banana theme, I'm also going to throw in some mini banana muffins. Esme also requested some animal crackers, and I tried my best to find just the monkey-shaped ones, but there weren't that many, so I'm kind of cheating here just a bit. Then you guys, for her sweet treat, Esme asked for something called a Bounty Bar. Now those are actually kind of hard to find here in the US, but we do have something that's very similar, and it's called a Mounds Bar. You guys have to let me know if you've ever tried one of these before. It's basically a coconut candy bar covered in chocolate. These are so good, but as you can tell, my kitchen is kind of hot today because it's already melting. And then finally, for the drink, I'm going to add a little container of a banana smoothie. Now I want to give a big shout out to Esme for sending in this banana-filled lunch. It came together so quickly, but turned out adorable. Now, if you enjoyed this video today, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to send in your lunch ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.